Hey, what is happening, guys? I wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in to Rules for Rebels. I think a lot of you guys are probably going to enjoy today's video, and I imagine a lot of you guys have probably wondered about this very same thing yourselves that we're going to be talking about. And essentially, it's, okay, I see all these people running like YouTube pre-roll ads about how much money they're making on Shopify or Amazon FBA or whatever else, and they all want me to go buy their course, but like, are these people for real? Are there any real life people out there actually making big money through, e-commerce stores, Shopify stores, Amazon, eBay, etc.? So,
number two, and this is not politically correct, I was sick and tired of all those fucking gurus. Because most of them are fucking scams. Teaching you this, how to buy real estate. Real estate guys teaching you how to buy real estate haven't bought a fucking real estate in his life.
Yeah, that's very dangerous.
Okay?
Yeah.
Guys who are teaching you how to invest in stocks don't buy stocks. They make money selling you how to make money shit.
Yeah.
So I was sick and tired of that circle. So I'm like, fuck you guys. So I got out.
And I wanted to sort of show you how much money I've made on that gold mine in a single day. And that single day was Cyber Monday. So take a look at my Cyber Monday sales.
Hey, it's John Mack, and if you give me 45 seconds, I'm going to be showing you what all these people have in common and how they're earning over $100,000 per month with their e-commerce store.
Don't tell Mark Zuckerberg, but I was actually working a lot on my Amazon and some of my own businesses kind of while I was still in that 9-to-5 mode.
Bo Crable, and I sell on Amazon.
Interested in starting a business on Amazon?
I've actually been meaning to make a video like this for a while, and I saw a Reddit post today that kind of gave me some context for how I wanted to present this. So that's essentially what we're going to be talking about today. Now, before we get started, guys, I'm closing in on 75,000 subscribers. Have really been grinding it out hard for a long time, trying to get that silver play button to throw up here on the wall. So do me a favor, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. And if you are already subscribed, do me a favor and smash that like button. That will help get this video in front of more people and help me grow my subscriber count so I can get there. So without further ado, let's get right into this, guys. So you all see all the pre-roll ads, right? Like if you're anything like me, you watch a lot of entrepreneurship type videos, so you're showing a lot of pre-roll ads, and obviously the ones that come in front of you the most are like Alex Becker with his cat earrings and his sewing machines. But you see all these other smaller YouTubers and stuff like that who, you want to find out how I do this much on Amazon? You want to find out how to launch a Shopify store? Like, you guys see all this stuff, and it's easy to wonder, like, is anybody really making money doing this stuff? Or is everybody just like pitching courses trying to get me to buy their $495 or $995 course? And one quick word on courses, before you go out and shell out thousands of dollars on a course, check out a site like Udemy, or one of my new favorite ones is Skillshare. And with a lot of these things, you're not paying thousands or even hundreds of dollars for a course. For 10 or 20 bucks, you can buy a course. And in the case of Skillshare, you pay one flat monthly fee, and you get access to every course on the platform. So definitely keep that in mind before you go buying anything. But basically what I wanted to talk about today is I'm going to show you guys like some of my store sales numbers. I'm going to show you like what like an average sale price or what an average ticket price of some of the things I sell is. I'm going to be talking to you guys about like what percentage of margin I make off these things. And I just kind of want to put it in context because I have a pretty healthy online business. I make a decent income. By no means am I rich. I'm not on beaches. I'm not balling so hard. I drive a Honda. I got myself a nice house. I do feel financially secure, but by no means am I making $5,000 a day or buying Lambos or doing any of this stuff you see people online do. I'm very happy with what I do. I make probably an above average income for somebody my age. I get to work for myself. I work with a longtime friend of mine who, I've known since high school. And I think that's a pretty good life. Would I love to be, making 5K a day, 10K a day, or whatever else these people promise? Of course I would. But I feel like I'm kind of I'm not the best out there, but I feel like I'm better than most. And I personally think that these numbers are kind of outrageous. And we'll kind of get into this in a minute. But one thing you'll kind of learn about my business, I'm in a really, really unique niche. So very high profit margins, higher ticket items that we're selling, very little competition. So really like everything an e-commerce business could have going for it, my business has going for it. And I'm still not pulling out the numbers that a lot of these people claim to. So let's just kind of get it started off here with this Reddit post. So the Reddit post says it was by Foodie1989. Does anyone here make a decent living off their own e-commerce store or Amazon? I've been interested in building this on the side and to see where it takes me. It would be a dream to eventually quit my job and do something for myself and not deal with the politics. I'm guessing office politics. If I can make at least $3K a month, I would be happy. I live comfy off a net income of $2,300 with 40% to save a month since I live with my boyfriend. So is it possible? All I see are YouTube gurus, but it's fishy. They all claim to make $100,000 a month and sell their own courses. I haven't heard of a real person that I believe really made it. Maybe a couple that seem legit. It's a bit discouraging, but I think it's worth trying to see. Now, I'll link to this post if any of you guys want to check it out. And there's plenty of people down in the comments section below who are making good incomes for themselves. And really, like somebody in a Reddit post, assuming they're not linking to a course or a YouTube channel, really has nothing to gain by lying to you and telling you they're doing better than they are. So, you know, this guy made 100K his first year. He's doing 300K now. Let's see here. Scammers, full set. I agree with this 100. Anyhow, I mean, I'm not going to make you guys scroll through there, but you guys can check out this post for yourself. There are real life examples in here. I know people personally in real life and even online friends who, you know, I know they're doing really well with Shopify and Amazon and things like that. So is it possible to make money? Absolutely. Is having huge success and quitting your job the norm? Probably not. Are these numbers that like Shopify gurus, Amazon gurus, everybody selling courses throwing out there, are they realistic? And even are they really happening? One thing I'm kind of hesitant to say, I don't want to say nobody can make $10,000 a day, right? Because just because I can't do it doesn't mean there aren't other people out there doing it. I hear a lot of people saying affiliate marketing is a scam. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, you can never make any real money on Amazon merch. I remember when I heard Glenn from Hustler Hacks and Merch Minds talking about making $5,000 a month on merch. I did not believe him, but I was like, oh man, I could never do something like that. And as I've kind of put my nose to the grindstone and been consistent with it, last month I fell a little bit short, but I almost hit $1,000, and that was a number that like I never thought I could do. So just because you feel like something is unattainable or unreachable, don't say it's impossible. But at the same time, you know, I think it's good to have a healthy skepticism of things. So what I'm going to do first is take you guys over and show you some screenshots from my Shopify store, and we'll hop over there right now. So this right here is kind of the home page of my Shopify store. So they wouldn't let me pull numbers for the full month of December or January. I guess they haven't totaled that yet, or I'm not sure what the reason for that is. So anyhow, we're going to be looking at November, which was a pretty good month for my business. December was even better. But these are good months, right? This isn't like a so-so month. This was like a better month for me. We did $93,218 in sales. Now, one thing that I need to add is that the online component or the Shopify store component of our business is only half of our business. We also have, I mean, technically it's the same business, but we also do phone orders as well. We have an 800 number. We take calls from customers and we take orders from over the phone. I would say my phone orders are about equal to what online orders are. So essentially kind of double this number. So 90, in reality sales were probably more like 180. And I tend to get a lot of the bigger sales over the phone. You know, somebody looking to spend $1,000 or $2,000, they might want to pick up the phone and call and actually talk to somebody. They might have questions as opposed to somebody just spending like $100 or whatever. So anyhow, we did $93,218 in sales through the site. Over the phone, we did, I don't know, probably somewhere around there. I didn't calculate that. Total store visits, 9,080. 51% of our customers are repeat customers. That's incredibly important in e-commerce. It's a lot easier to get somebody to keep coming back to you than it is to continually be bringing in new customers. Our store's conversion rate is 2.31%. And the average order size, this is really important. The average, and I'm going to get into some numbers in a minute here, but just kind of pay attention to what we're doing now. So the average order size is $479.44. So when we look at a lot of these like online gurus telling you to sell cat earrings or sewing machines or, you know, these like $10, $15, $20 products, think about how many $10, $15, $20 products you would have to sell to equal my average ticket size of 479s. You know, essentially they're going to have to sell 10 or 20 products to do the same amount of revenue as my company does for selling one product. So, you know, just a couple important numbers to look at right there. This is basically some numbers from January. So on January 14th, we had 6 orders totaling $3,228. January 15th, 4 orders totaling $1,040. On the 16th, a little bit of a better day, we had 11 orders totaling $4,500. The 17th, 6 orders for $3,000. The 18th, 7 orders for $2,500. Now keep in mind, this is only the website portion. This isn't including phone orders. January 20th, a little bit slower, $1,500. 21st, $1,400. Slow day on the 22nd, $380. 23rd, $1,494. January 26th was a really good day, $4,900. January 29th, 10 orders for $4,720. So I just kind of want to give you guys an idea of like how many orders we're kind of getting per day here. This is kind of sales over time. So January of last year, 2017, we did just under 75,000. I'm guessing this is probably, 58,000, maybe 60,000, almost 100,000 in March, back down to like 55 in May, maybe 60 in June. I'm guessing that's like 80 in July, back down to maybe 60 in August. Finished off December strong with, I'm guessing probably 80, 90,000 right there, right? Okay. Next, I'm going to take you over here. This is a month-by-month summary of orders, similar to what we just looked at in that graph, except here it's broken out. So for the year on this site, we did 2,082 orders, totaling $859,943. January of 20. Okay, so here we have the exact numbers. I was kind of estimating before. January of 2017, 165 orders for 71,000. February, 160 orders, 60,000. Another 60,000 month. April was a really good month. 234 orders, 102,000. And again, I just want to point out this is only the website portion of orders, not the phone orders. July was a strong July, 181 orders, 80,000, 171 orders, 62,000. Now, one interesting or unique thing about me and my partner's business, the prices from our suppliers fluctuates a lot, as well as the products that we're selling fluctuates a lot. So some products we do much better margins on than others. Some month we're getting much better rates on the products that we sell than others. And that's why, like, I can do 181 orders and make 80,000. Yet I can do 100, I can have more orders and make less money. So our business isn't really typical. It does fluctuate a lot. But here's kind of the numbers month by month in terms of orders and gross sales. And then here's just kind of another look at, a couple of days worth of sales. Obviously, I blocked some of this out for my customers' privacy. The 29th, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this extends lower. Anyhow, I think this page goes a little bit lower, but we had at least 17. I think there might be 4 or 5 hanging out below the page where I can't scroll to, plus phone orders. And if we look at like the ticket sizes of these orders, $123, $280, $280, $234, $987. That one got canceled. $543, $91, $999, $228, $228, $987, $123, $501. If you were to ask me like what is your average order size, I would probably throw out a number like 250. When we're talking averages, I mean, you guys saw what my Shopify store said. It said we had an average of $500 and something. I think that kind of gets skewed upwards or higher because a lot of like the $1,000 or $2,000 orders that come through. If I were to look at like the median or what kind of I think is the average order, I would say like $250 to $350. Is that a different day? 28th? Okay, here's like another day. This is like December 28th. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 orders. Again, 987, 987, 280, 987, 123, 293, 123, 438, 736. Now keep in mind, each order I get is a couple $100 for the most part. Some of them upwards of $1,000. Think how many sewing machines, cat earrings, phone chargers that are like $10, $15, $20 products. Think about how many of those you need to sell for it to equal $900. Like an awful lot of them, right? So we're kind of done with this part. Now I'm going to take you to a screen where we're going to kind of break down the numbers. Okay, now personally, I'm not really a numbers guy, so I wanted to kind of have some notes for myself here. And also, I know when I'm watching YouTube videos and people kind of start spewing out all types of crazy numbers, you know, it's like, ooh, it goes straight over my head. So I'm kind of a visual person. I don't know if you guys want to see this actually in writing, but I figure it might make everything a little bit easier to digest. So in 2017, my business did 2.6 million in sales. Now in 2016, we did 2.3 million. So we actually grew the business. Revenue before expenses was $330,000. Now that's not all profit for us. Out of that, we pay office rent, which is $415 per month. Insurance for the two of us, health insurance, is $1,500 per month. I didn't put in dental insurance, but we also have dental insurance. Internet and phone, $150 a month. I'm trying to think. You know, there's also some like attorney's fees and licensing and things like that as well. We also have obviously other assorted miscellaneous costs, envelopes, printer ink, Ethernet cables, just like random stuff from around the office. For the past couple years, my partner and I both bring home about $100,000. So your situation may be different if you're a one-man team. Because there's two of us, obviously we split the money. So, you know, even though we're making more money than maybe a lot of stores, it's also getting split between two people as well as like insurance and everything else. Out of that 100,000, we each pay ourselves a salary of, I forget if it's 60,000 or 65,000. The rest of our money we pay out in dividends. Dividends are taxed at a lower rate, and also you don't have to pay like all the FICA nonsense and all that other stuff. So, you know, if you set up an LLC or whatever, what's the word for it? I believe you elect to be taxed as an S corp, and then you're able to take the money out as dividends. Anyhow, kind of getting into the numbers, my average ticket value or sale price is, you know, depending on whether we're talking phone orders or Shopify orders, $450 to $600. Of that, anywhere from 20% to 50% is typically our profit margin. Now, again, our prices from our suppliers change. Even the prices that we sell items for changes. So, you know, that's really kind of sliding. I can't really nail it down. But that's kind of roughly what we're working with, right? Now, on average, I would say we get anywhere from 8 to 15 orders to go out per day. A good day might be 15 to 30 orders. And a great day might be upwards of 50 orders per day. This is for one of our businesses. We actually run 3 different businesses, but this one is by far the most successful. Anyhow, this means, roughly speaking, on an average order of, say, $450, which you guys saw on Shopify, I think they said our average order is $457, we're making somewhere between $90 and $225 per order. Some we're making more, some we're making less. Now, someone who tells you that they're drop shipping sewing machines or cat earrings or God knows what else, we're talking about typically like a $15 to $20 product, right? So you guys saw like some of the products people are buying on my store, a couple $100, $1,000. When we're talking about products that are like sell for $15 to $20, think about how many $15 to $20 products you would have to sell to equal a couple $100, let alone $1,000. On top of that, and we're kind of trying to put like how realistic are all these like AliExpress drop shipping guys on YouTube? Like how realistic is that really? We're talking about a $15 to $20 product. Drop shipping tends to yield lower profits, right? So I know there's people who say, oh, I try to make 2x or 3x or whatever a product costs. In reality, if you're drop shipping from Shopify, you're probably making 20% or less margins. In this instance, I'm even going to be generous, and I'm going to say they're going to be making 50% margins. So on a $20 product that somebody's selling, they're making a 50% margin. They're making $10 per sale. Now, keep in mind, we're being very generous, assuming that you can sell cat earrings for $20 and assuming you're making double what the standard drop shipping business does. So we're assuming a 50% profit margin instead of 20% or less. What we're also not factoring in, we're going to be especially generous and give these guys the benefit of the doubt. What we're not factoring in is lost packages and chargeback. So when things are coming from China, some things are going to go lost. Also, a lot of your customers, you know, we know how long things can take to arrive from AliExpress. So some people may 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in be like, dude, I'm sick of waiting. Give me a refund. And you're like, but I told you on my checkout page that it could take a long time. And they're like, I'm not waiting. I want a refund. Well, sorry, I can't give you a refund. It said it. Okay, I'm calling Visa and I'm doing a credit card chargeback. Money goes back to the guy, plus he still gets your product. So we're going to assume you have 0 chargebacks and 0 lost packages, which with drop shipping, especially drop shipping from China, tends to happen at higher rates. Now, keeping those very generous numbers in place, you're essentially having to make somewhere between 9 and 25 sales of lower dollar products to match one of my sales, and that's just a single sale. So let's say that I have 10 orders going out for the day. For my 10 orders with, you know, higher dollar products, you're going to have to sell somewhere between 90 and 225 items per day to match my 10 items per day going out. Now keep in mind, I don't make $10,000 per day. I don't make $5,000 per day. My partner and I shoot to make $500 per day. Sometimes we make considerably more on a really good day. Other days we make next to nothing. You guys saw I had one day where, I think we had 2 or 3 orders for a couple $100s in revenue. My point being, I have a business that's been around since 2012, so we've been around for 5 years. I'm in a very unsaturated niche. I have very few competitors. I could probably count the amount of competitors I have on one hand, so probably 5 or less. I have very high ticket items, and I also have larger than probably average or normal margins. And I'm not doing the same number. And even, you know, with all these good factors going for my business, even me and my partner aren't coming anywhere close to doing a lot of the numbers that a lot of these online gurus pitching courses are doing. Now, I get that some people will say just because you can't do it doesn't mean somebody else. I completely agree with that. You know, like I said, I'm doing, you know, a lot of people say affiliate marketing is a scam. You can't make any money. I'm by no means getting rich off affiliate marketing, but it's kind of a passive thing that I don't put a ton of time or effort into. Like, I do pretty well with it. Same with Amazon merch. Like, when I first got on merch, I was like, man, this stuff's impossible. And after I focused on it for a while and put in consistent effort and kind of worked on upping my design skills, I made almost $1,000 a month last month with it, right? So, like, I don't want to fall into the trap of saying, well, if I can't do it, Alex Becker or whoever else can't do it. Like, but to see a lot of these people saying, our first month on Shopify, we did $500,000 in sale, like, it doesn't seem super realistic to me, is what I'll say. Now, that said, I find it very, very hard to believe that someone is doing these numbers with a drop shipping business model, especially if it's like AliExpress. The very nature of drop shipping and especially AliExpress drop shipping means that there's no barrier to entry, so there's going to be stiff competition, right? Margins typically aren't going to be great. Your products aren't unique, and you're going to have a higher than average return and chargeback rate than like a normal e-commerce store. Add on top of all of that the sheer number of sales that you would have to do on smaller ticket items to make up these giant numbers these guys are talking about just seems somewhat unrealistic and very difficult to me. So what's the rub? Where does that leave us, right? So anybody proclaiming to make all this money with very little work is doing so to sell you a course. They're going to sell a lot more courses throwing around big numbers and promising you it will be easy than if they told you, okay, it's going to be a lot of hard work pretty much every day after work from 6 o'clock. You know, you go home, you kiss your dog, you eat dinner, watch 15 minutes of TV with your girlfriend, and then from like 7 o'clock to 2 in the morning, you are grinding it out, making channel art, doing content marketing, refining your store, finding suppliers. Like, if somebody tells you all that's going to go into it, they're going to sell a lot more courses than like, hey, just follow my 10-step process and make $5,000 a day, right? Like, people want to believe it's easy. People want to believe they're guaranteed to be successful. And so people are going to make it, you know, sound like it's much easier to do than it really is. Now, one other thing I just kind of wanted to touch on, because this topic's been coming up a lot lately as well. So there's an old phrase that says, if you can't do, teach. And while this is sometimes true, I don't think it's always the case with business coaches, teachers, or people selling courses. I'm not saying anyone who sells a course is on BS, and I actually think it's quite smart to diversify your income and have multiple streams of income. So your skills at Amazon, e-commerce, or whatever other topic, right? Those are a commodity in the same way that a product is. Those things are valuable. So if I know how to sell on Amazon, it would almost be stupid of me to not like sell, you know, assuming I have the time to do so, it would almost be stupid of me not to sell that knowledge, right? Because if for whatever reason my Shopify store, my Amazon product, whatever comes to an end, I have this other stream of revenue to carry me over until I get a new product going. So by no means am I saying just because somebody sells a course or offers coaching or whatever else that they're a scam artist or they're not really doing what they're saying. Absolutely not. I think it's actually very smart to have multiple streams of income. And, you know, if you've put in all this time and effort and energy to develop these skills or learn all this stuff, you might as well try to monetize that knowledge. However, that said, keep in mind, somebody who's selling a course, it is in their best interest to make you believe that you can succeed and it is in their best interest to make you believe it's guaranteed, and it is in their best interest to kind of make it seem like it's going to be easy for you. So everything said. Okay, so everything's said and done. Let's head back on over to this this entrepreneur subreddit. Does anybody actually make a living off their own e-commerce store? Absolutely. There's a ton of people making money off Shopify stores, off Amazon, etc. However, let's kind of put it in perspective. Like the idea that you can make, you know, $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and maybe leave your day job and make a very, very comfortable income. Because what $5,000 a month is $60,000 a year. $3,000 a month is $36,000 a year. You know, the idea that you could leave your job, do a Shopify store, do an Amazon product, and make like $3,000 to $6,000 a month. Not that it's going to be easy, but absolutely very doable, right? Like not incredibly hard to believe. The idea that people are making $5,000 a day. What's $5,000 a day? That's and I do see that number being thrown out on a lot of these programs. $5,000 a day times 30 days in a month, that's $150,000 a month. Now, obviously, there's a lot of business being done. People buy a ton of stuff online. Are there people out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month or even millions of dollars a month selling products? Absolutely. Is it the norm? Absolutely not. Sorry, guys, I just kind of had a brain fart. I guess my point being, you know, if you see somebody selling a course, talking about all this money they make and talking about how easy it is, take it with a grain of salt. If you're getting into this thinking, okay, this would be, you know, I have a day job right now. I would love to make a couple hundred or even a couple $1,000s a month to supplement my day job. Absolutely doable. If you're thinking I'd like to leave my day job and make, you know, 3 to 5, 3 to 6, maybe even 10 grand a month if I really work at it for a couple years, it's going to be a challenge, but it's doable, right? The idea that you're going to get started with this and within your first 30 days, first 60 days, even first 6 months are making $5,000, $10,000 a day, that would put you in the upper 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% of people out there. It's not the norm, and I would find it very, very hard to believe that somebody drop shipping drop shipping AliExpress products, which again have poor margins, long shipping times, you know, all that stuff going against it. I would say that's very hard to believe. One last thing I wanted to add. I know I've kind of crapped on e-commerce. I know I've kind of crapped on drop shipping a lot over the years. And I'm not really against drop shipping if it's set up the proper way. But if you guys remember back to those screenshots I showed you, 51% of my customers are returning customers. It's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to keep a customer coming back than it is to constantly be running AdWords ads or Facebook ads to constantly get new customers in. Once you sell somebody one product, it's very easy to kind of sell them other products along the same lines and keep and maintain that same customer. If you're drop shipping stuff from AliExpress and it's taking 3 weeks, 30 days, 40 days, 60 days for somebody to get their product, do you think they're ever going to come back to your store again? Probably not. And because of that, you're going to have a very low rate of returning customers. You're going to wind up spending a lot more money on advertising. You're constantly going to be chasing new customers because for the most part, probably 90% of your customers or more are going to come by one time. They're going to have a bad experience or be turned off by the long shipping times, and they're not going to come back again. So just a really important thing to keep in mind. That's kind of what I got to say, guys. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I know a lot of you guys out there are into e-commerce. Like, what was your experience starting an e-commerce store, rolling out your first Amazon product? Like, what did your first 30 days look like? What did your first 90 days look like? What did your first 6 months or your first year look like? And like, what was the growth of your business actually like? What kind of numbers are you actually doing? I know a lot of people really wonder about this, and a lot of people want like kind of a more realistic perspective. Again, just to kind of wrap up my situation, like I do pretty good for myself, but by no means am I rich. By no means am I driving supercars. By no means am I living in mansions or traveling all the time. Like, you know, I'm living, I would say, a solid middle-class income, but I work for myself. I work with a friend of mine. I have the flexibility of being an entrepreneur, and I love what I do. So for me, that's worth it. I mean, could I make more money? Could I grow it to something bigger? Like, yes, and I'm working on that every day. But, you know, I've been into this for several years. And I'm not at the levels that a lot of these guys on YouTube say that they're at within their first 30 days. So that's kind of my take on the whole thing. Would love to hear from you guys. Drop your comments in the comments section below. Again, I'm working on getting this play button right here, so please do me a favor. Thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the support on the channel and everything you guys do, and I will catch you on the next video.